Hi everyone, it's Killshot99 Gaming's The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 10, Reactions. This is the podcast of reactions, and I know all over the internet tomorrow is going to be a bunch of... Most people do these reaction videos, and they have like this look on their face where one eyebrow's up and a strange look like they're in complete shock. Like, oh, it's a meat grinder. And then... that's not this. This is just going to be our reaction video. We're going to talk through what happened. There were some of those emotions, but you're just not going to freeze frame all the weird facial expressions and stuff. Just pretend I'm doing it. How about that? So I see a lot of people jumping in here. I want to thank all of you guys for being here on a late Sunday night. This is our third one. We did the Walking Dead Junkies. We did our countdown. And then here we are doing the reactions. I've got a lot of notes. I got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. The episode was everything that we expected it to be, and then a little bit more. So we're starting to see that part of Simon sort of, we talked earlier in the week about that rift starting. Just from watching a little bit of that teaser, we knew it was going down there, but Simon just took it to a different level. And I think if you watch Talking Dead, you saw Kirkman even validate a little bit that Simon could be more dangerous than Negan. So appreciate all of you guys. A lot of new faces jumping in here. Thank you so much. I know it's late, and there's a lot of things you guys could be doing, sleeping, but you're hanging out with us, and we appreciate everybody definitely being here. Pete D in the house, getting the super chats rolling on a late Sunday night. Thank you so much, Pete D. I got a whole list of questions that we're just waiting on you to ask. Here we go. Let's get into it. We're going to start out. I don't know if you guys caught this, but this episode was very Pulp Fiction-esque. It, where they would put a person's name, and then that was kind of new to me. I like the way they did that, like Michonne, and then you get Michonne's storyline. And then you move on, and I don't know who was second. Was it Enid? Maybe Enid was second, then Simon. But good stuff, kept us focused on the storyline. I guess, they thought because they were sort of jumping around that would be a good thing to do. I do want to also say, I've missed a lot of shout-outs, but one person that I did miss a little bit earlier was A.J. Jepson. So if you look to the far right of, I know this is off topic, but I got to get it out there before we finish this video. If you look to the right, the canvas of Jerry, that is A.J. Jepson. That is one of the members of our Walking Dead 999 Army on Facebook. So she does just a lot of wonderful artwork. I sent a message, didn't get a response, so I was like, hey AJ, I'm going to use a piece of your artwork and just kind of show it. But I wanted to show it off a little bit. Amazing job. And there you can see a little bit of our group is starting to grow. It is a family. I don't think we need 500,000 subscribers on Facebook in order to make a statement. I think we've got a really cool family. It's growing. And just the networking and the togetherness of this group is just really amazing. So if there's some things that you guys want included on one of the live streams, send me a message on Kick at KILZHOT. PD Wheatstraw says, with the super chat, this episode was just jam-packed with content. Yes, it was, PD. So many different storylines that can take off from here. Michonne, here's a couple of the notes that I have. With Michonne's situation, or a little bit of her story, is yes, she did want to put out the fire at the gazebo, and I think that was those lasting memories. But even prior to that, the gate scene, everything was slowing down for Michonne. You could see when the walkers actually came up to the gate, they looked much more alive and more real. Each one that she kind of stabbed was almost like a face or a memory, or I'm not saying she's going to backtrack into a really bad place, but you could see that the killing is getting old. You could see it in Michonne's face. And I got a couple more notes, but I do want to say thank you to Valar jumping in with a super chat as well. Valar, you got to give me a question though. Hook me up, man. Give me something because I want to stop this chat and just answer your question. One of the things that let me read through a couple of these things. Rick says to Michonne, he was confused about Carl's message, and he says he just wants to stop fighting and surrender to Negan. And it's almost like he thought that, but he was trying to argue it. He's having this internal strife of trying to decide whether I want to do and honor Carl's wishes, because I did say that I'm going to make it real. but he has said to Negan he's going to kill Negan. So you can see Rick is struggling with it, and he's looking to Michonne for some sort of emotional support or validation. And for the most part, she's letting him work it out. And I think that's the right thing to do at this point. Rial's like, you know what? That creepy Jadis film, we're going to talk about that. I'm not done with talking about her yet. All right, let me move on. If I'm going to call on a couple of you guys just in a few minutes, but I do want to get some of these things out. This is going to be the reaction. Tomorrow night we'll do a full recap, but as far as let me do this. We'll stop here. As far as things that you knew were going to happen, what surprised you the most on tonight's episode? So if I were there with you and you were reacting to this video, what caused your biggest reaction in tonight's episode? I'm going to read a few of the comments here. AJ Jepson, absolutely. When Jadis broke down and she started speaking, I was like, wow. So all this has just been, she's a minimalist. I mean, she's just been using as few words as possible, and that's just her own, it's her own way of life. Brian Clayton says Jadis speaks. Grim Reaper says the meat grinder. Ashley Estrada says Negan's performance was awesome. Epic Vid says Jeffrey Dean Morgan was great. Madison Dickey says the helicopter. Helipads and solar panels, says Casey. So it's legit. It is definitely something that we're going to see in the future. I think Jadis is like a fighter pilot that turned artist, that turned minimalist. Walker Porridge. Oh no, Wayne. You didn't go there. Simon and Negan's confrontation. That's Laura Brown. Thank you, Laura, chiming in with that. All the potential of the junkyard. Diane Estes. All right, we're going to get to a couple more comments just in a minute. But one of the topics over the last couple of weeks really has been our theory, not a spoiler, or not, maybe not even as strong as a prediction, but I guess a theory that Simon is going to cross Negan. And we're starting to see it. We're starting to see that rift further and further widen. And it just opens up the door for so many possibilities, whether Simon could be a victim. I think Simon's too strong to be a victim. I think Simon's going to go off on his own way. Valar says, okay, why super chat? All right, we're gonna answer this question. Because it is a super I can't say it. It's late, everybody. After the third stream and a long day, words are all going to blend together. And there is no outtakes on this. So Valar wants to know, okay, why does Rick not get it? So Valar, you got to be more specific. What do you mean by not get it? Do you mean should he give in to Negan? Should he honor Carl's wishes? What part do you think Rick is not getting? And then we'll stop and we'll answer that. Moderators, if you can kind of keep a close eye on that, just so we can get a full answer. Oh, okay. There you go. His follow-up to that. He had a chance to save Jadis, but yet again he shoots his gun in the air. I did not like that. I really didn't. I didn't like that he shot the gun up in the air, and then he's basically explaining the same conversation to Michonne that he did to Carl of why he did it. And he poured salt in her wounds a little bit. So I'm going to take the pulse of the group in here right now watching the stream. Feel bad for Jadis, yes or no? We asked this question earlier, and I got a good feel of where everybody was at, but then after watching it live and seeing the way it happened, if you answered one way earlier and you can remember how you answered, tell me if you changed your mind after seeing the episode. Oh boy. The people saying yes, kinda. Jamie Breen, KCF saying a little. Brene saying very little. See, that's what the writers are doing to us. If you said no earlier, now you say yeah, a little. They're getting us. You know, they're pulling us over in a direction. It's the same thing they're doing with Negan. And if they can pull it off, I'm okay with it. I don't mind. I don't mind changing my mind. I don't mind letting the writers manipulate me a little bit, as long as they can do it and make me stop and say, yeah, okay, I can see that. That made a little bit of sense. This is a mean question to ask. Did it seem like Negan missed Carl a little bit more than Rick? I know Rick is still traumatized by it, but damn, Negan seemed like he really was sorry that Carl was dead. Like it was his son. A few people kind of saw that and felt that. I don't know. I don't think Negan's playing a game with that. The emotion on his face. Here's why Chevy V says Negan's playing a game. If it was just radio communication, one thing that the producers did really, really well, they didn't have to show us that image. You know, I started out this video talking about reactions, and you'll probably watch some of those tomorrow, some of the, you know, good reactions and crazy reactions. But Negan's reaction, he was choked up. You could see him he could kind of gulp a little bit, and it was like, man, I'm sorry to hear that. And you could tell it in his voice. But seeing it on his face really, really was a great, great addition to this episode. It wasn't just the walkie-talkie back and forth. Petey Wheatstraw with the Super Chat says, you'd have to compare both their initial reactions. Well, I'm gonna throw this out. It's not going to be popular. Because Rick does love Carl. I'm not saying Rick does not love Carl. But I feel like Rick's in a bad place. I feel like Rick, half of that emotion that's going through him is the fact that he failed as a father. And he hasn't really lost it yet. I need to see Rick lose it over Carl. I need that moment in the second half of the season. Negan felt it, and Negan even said, I'm going to have a hard time dealing with this. But right now, Rick is about rage, and he's still shooting a damn gun above people's head. Rick just needs to break down. At some point, it's got to happen. Zay Johnson says, so Kills, are you a Negan fan now? No, I'm not. Never. Won't happen. Hassan Shabazz says, will Negan ever see Carl's letter? I'm going to say yes. I think he'll see Carl's letter after Rick captures him and locks him up. That's what I feel like is going to happen. He's going to have plenty of time to read it over and over again. Derek, I did not say the same thing with Dwight. I think I need to correct you on that point. I'll use Simon's line. No! I have never hated Dwight. I've always felt sorry for Dwight. Because I realize everything that Negan put Dwight through. I can't. Look, there'll be people that will kind of go back. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, Derek, and I'm not going to say, well, I can't do this. No. You know what? I'm still going to say. I was going to say I'm not going to say I won't ever accept Negan. The words just won't come out of my mouth. I can't even fathom liking Negan and accepting him as part of that group. So I just don't see it happening. If I do, you know, if I ever accept Negan, that would be the equivalent of Rick accepting Negan after he says, not today, not tomorrow, but I'm going to kill you. Wayne's like, you'll turn, Kills. The writers are going to have to come up with something really, really good. But they're already doing it. They did it tonight. You know what? Not only did they do it tonight, let me tell you what else they did. They're so sneaky at AMC. These people. So first of all, in this episode, they made Negan get choked up over Carl. And they made Negan more sympathetic toward Carl than Rick. Okay? That's fine. But that's not all. And now they're making Simon more evil than Negan. So now you got a worse villain. And number 3, they put Robert Kirkman on that couch. And they make him say that Simon could be more evil than Negan. And Negan thinks his view of the world is right. And Negan killed those 2 people to try to save people. And Negan said that, and Kirkman backed it up. So I see what they're doing here. There's no doubt that they're pushing us in a certain way to finally get us to a point at some point down the line where the first thing that you have to do when you have this difficult situation, we talked about this morning on the Walking Dead Junkies, about how much of a hole they dug for themselves. They can't get the people who hate Negan. They got to get those of you out there that are straddling the fence, that are in the middle, that neither. They got to go after the people, Derek, to your point, the people that feel about Negan the way I feel about Dwight. They got to get over the people who are like, okay, yeah, I kind of see his point of view. And then they get them to accept him. So right now you may have, let's go with this. Let's say 80, 10, 10. 80% of the people don't like Negan, want him to die. 10% of the people, they see both points of view. And 10% of the people like Negan regardless. So they got to get those 10% of the people over to fully like Negan. So they're like, okay, well now we got 20%. And then they'll start to chip away at the rest of us. And it's going to take one heck of a storyline in order to get us there. Not just the killing of Carl, but the long-term emotional impact of Carl. I don't know if you guys thought you were getting all this reaction tonight. All right, that's a little sidebar. Let me get to a couple more things that happen. Okay, first of all, I'm going to go deep into the psychology here. You guys know how I do it and how we do it. So stick with me. Fasten your seatbelts because this is going to be, I'm going to drop the bomb here. Jadis did get her people killed. And let me tell you why. They had guns, they had more people than Simon, and she lied when she was supposed to be on Rick's side. So, yes, you know what? I don't feel sorry for her. Not at all. When Simon walked in with the people he had there, Jadis should have put her fist up and said, light them up, and mowed them down. If she would have shot before they shot, we don't have this problem. She could have went back to Rick and said, hey, guess what? We took out 20 of them for you. But she didn't. She gave the guns to Simon and tried to negotiate yet another deal. She made a deal with Rick. Then she made a deal with Negan. Then she made another deal with Rick. And then she was ready to make a 4th deal with Negan. Unbelievable. Sorry. I know they put her on top of that trash mountain and had her, bawling her eyes out, but all she had to do was fight it out at that point in time. You got that exactly right, Green 74. Never, ever, ever. She should have never handed over weapons. At that point, what did she think was going to happen? You're a leader. You have the responsibility of your people on your shoulders. Okay, that was number one. Hidden clue number two. Jadis wants to live. Otherwise, she would have jumped in the meat grinder herself and died with her people. And because Jadis wants to live, now, my question is, you've just seen everybody that you know get completely slaughtered. What's the point? She has one reason to live right now. Who wants to type that magic word in chat? Well, it's true, Hippo. There were more saviors and scavengers, but now there's a whole lot more. Because there's only one scavenger. So I like my odds at least going down firing, absolutely. So the code word there, everybody's got it. Revenge. If she was not out for revenge, if she was not going to be a part of this story, Rock is like, applesauce. You better believe it. Revenge. So let's start counting it down. You know, whether it's Alpha or whether she's going to get in with the Whisperers or whether there's another group, it's revenge. You know, that's a good point. Crawfish says, "Why didn't she say half?" That would have been great. That would have been a great comeback. Thank you for that. That's worth it. Funny. I don't think a lot of these little small tidbits happen lightly. You know, as I mentioned before, Negan is going to taint Lucille. He's not going to taint Lucille if he's not going to use it at least once. Otherwise, it's a big waste to go through all the, you know, the festivities in doing it. So when Jadis marched all those walkers into the meat grinder and having to watch those and the tears going down her face, she had a choice. And it was like, let me just, hey, I got no people to lead anymore. Let me just dive in here. But she didn't. But prior to that, she was begging Rick for help. Could she join Magna? Possibility, right? All right, we're going to open up question for the group, and the question is, should Rick have helped Jadis escape? Bob Joe says no. Future Llama says no. We got Dalton saying yes. Stephen Miller, yes. Whole lot of people saying no. Paris says a way to honor Carl. Paris, I'm gonna take it beyond that. I'm gonna take it beyond Carl. I understand she used Rick. Here's the way I would say yes. Rick even said she's got nothing we need. So if she were to rebuild and you got a chance to help her, Rick didn't kill all of her people. But you got a chance to help someone before they rebuild and become your enemy. That seems, one, yes, he could have honored Carl, but number two, why look over your shoulder in season 9 and season 10? Because, yes, she wants Simon dead. Yes, she wants Negan dead. Well, guess who else she wants dead now? The person that took off and left her for dead. So Rick's on that list. He may not be number 1 on the list, but he's on the list. How ironic would it be if season 10, Jadis is the one that kills Rick off the show? Just to me, unnecessary. I mean, maybe he didn't think he could trust her. Well, the thing is, he felt bad about it. And Rick is not doing things to think anything through. The thing with Sadiq, he didn't think it through. The thing with Jadis, even when he's driving, you can tell the writers wanted to write in the fact that he felt guilty about not doing it. He's trying to transform, but he can't. He can't put his weapons down. He could change his mind, but come on, Rick's changed his mind way too much for me. Killing Negan, not kill Negan, kill you today, kill you tomorrow, and probably won't kill him. It's going to be tough. You see, that is my problem. And 1189 is hitting the nail on the head. So, he only saw Jadis as resource and her fighters, but nothing else. And if Rick continues to go into this war, this is the part that I think Carl wanted to articulate to Rick, and this is the part that is going to change it for some people, and maybe change it for Rick. If he keeps seeing people for what they can do for him, and he doesn't start seeing the group for what he can do as a leader, they're never going to survive it. All right, one more reaction thing. Let's jump in here because we are approaching 30 minutes. We like to keep these reaction videos at 30 minutes because, of course, you're not going to get a whole lot of freeze-frame facial expressions. The last thing that I want to talk about, and we'll do a full recap tomorrow night at 9:30, is the reaction to Simon. He didn't really lie to Negan. He exaggerated the truth. So he said, "Did you take care of it?" And he said, "Yeah, and then some." He was pretty straightforward. He wasn't afraid of Negan. He's confident in what he did. So I want to know your reaction to Simon coming back and Negan being preoccupied and not knowing the truth of what really happened at the junkyard. Kel is now a Jadis fan. Nothing wrong with that. I don't hate Jadis, but I think she's responsible for what happened to her people. I think she could have fought back. Stephen Miller says Negan will find out. Casey says Negan will find out soon. Yeah, he did seem a little suspicious. Someone will snitch on Simon. Well, if they don't snitch on Simon, wouldn't you think that they are an accomplice? And you got it, Drama King. The blue paint on his boots. The blue paint gave it away. I mean, Negan's not going to know people are dead from blue paint, but it could force another question that it wasn't quite as smooth as he thought it was going to be. No, and Steph is like just the blue paint. No, the blue paint alone is not going to tell him anything. But the fact that Simon acts so nonchalant about, oh, no, it's fine. Yeah. And then you see Simon, who's pretty meticulous, getting a little sloppy. I think what that's going to signify to Negan is my right-hand man is getting sloppy. Maybe Jadis will fly Morgan down to Texas. One buzzword here, and I'm going to kind of leave it at that. Villar says Rick saw the blue paint. Yeah, you know, but how will this play out between Rick, Negan, Simon? I don't think, you know, Rick will be involved in that conversation. But here's a hidden clue for all of you, and it went by really, really quickly. Simon did talk about cutting his losses, but he did say we need to go further out and look for more communities. To me, that is a telltale sign that Simon is going to be exiled, or he's going to take a group and go out on his own. Of all the things that really were like, yeah, there's something kind of written in that, for him to say those words and the writers to put those words in his mouth, time to go out a little bit further and time to look for new communities, says that he wants to do things on his own. He wants to be his own leader. And he was not accepting what Negan was saying to him. He was listening, but he went there to kill all of them. So he purposely defied Negan. He was finding any way he could to exact his will on those people. And he's not afraid to go back into the sanctuary. It's not like he's trying to hide from it. So I think he's going to pack up and take his own group somewhere else. If he does that, then that could get us back to that whole, 10% that might be accepting Negan before too long. But I still can't like him. All right, everybody, I am going to wind the stream down. We have hit 30 minutes. I want to thank all of you guys. This is a very raw reaction video. We sort of talked through it, walked through it. I appreciate your thoughts, your comments, being a part of this. You guys do so much for this channel. Just love being here doing these shows for you every night. We will be back at 9:30 tomorrow night. Think about the episode a little bit more. We're going to do a person-by-person, a more in-depth, detailed recap. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. If you're watching the playback, this is the closing credits. You can go ahead and roll out. If you're still in this chat, give me a quick 999. I want to give several shout-outs to the group out there. And if Pamela Hyde is watching, instead of posting comments on videos, Pamela, there is a message feature on my YouTube chat. So you can actually message me, and then if you want to have like a detailed conversation, and you know who you are, and you know what the topic is about. So message me and stop posting random stuff, if you could do that for me. All right, everybody, let's go. AJ Jepson, thanks for being here. Tanya Dockstader, Stephen Miller, Madison Dickey, Scammer Trolling, Texas Girl 38, Future Llama, Storm 3851, OU Crawfish, Linda Owen, PD Wheatstraw in the house, Carol Brothers Payette, Red Taco, The Cat Nat, 1189 Paris. These names are freaking me out. Thank you so much, Paris. Appreciate the super chat. That's the best way to do it, right? Like right in the closing credits. So thank you so much. Hippo in the house. Northside Queen, thank you. Peace Dove, thank you so much. Drama Queen, New York City. Sheldon Arthur. All my moderators. Tommy, Kel, Emmy, Steph. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. Would not be here without you. Epic Vids 8. Carlos Andretti. Zachary. Sandra Wiley, thank you. Walani, part of that 999 Army, thank you so much. Kentrell Muhammad, thank you. Who else we got? Wayne, thank you so much. Absolutely. I'll shout you out as, okay, Mumbo. You are the Mumbo from now on. Beth Burgett, thank you. Jake Turgeon. Chris Salisbury. Valar, thank you so much, Valar. Valar is up there, right? I mean, with the Valar bombs. A lot of super chatting. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate your Valar bombs dropping some knowledge on us. Jill's birthday. Happy birthday, Jill. You got it. And also shout out to Little Tommy. A shout out to Diane Estes, Zay Johnson as well, Tanner Patterson. I'm doing some double shout outs. It's all good, man. iRock6, thanks for being here. Lucille, that like button. Yeah, we got like 30 or 40 of you guys. Hit that like button. Show a little bit of love. Skullcrackers 187. What are we doing here? That's a good question. We are actually winding it down if you just got here. You know what? Why would I not read that comment? PD Wheatstraw, awesome episode followed by an even better stream. Good night, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. That's some representation there. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. If you're lagging a little bit and I missed you in a shout out, then I will catch you guys. There you go. Lenore Smith just got in under the radar. I was about to wind it down and just jumped in there right to the last minute before the door closed. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much, AJ, for being here. Your artwork is amazing as well. That's why I kind of used it. Check out our Walking Dead 999 Army page. You'll see more of AJ's artwork, some good back and forth, and also we'll post and let you guys know when the streams are. I missed you last couple times. Kicks Her Life. I'm going to get a quick shout out there. Kirsten K. Thank you so much. What am I doing after the stream? I'm going to hang out with my cat for a little bit, and then I'm going to go to sleep because it has been a long, long day of streaming. So I appreciate Meat Grinder. That, oh no, Emmy, now everybody's going to want that t-shirt. They're going to want Meat Grinder, the like button. That's just gruesome. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later on. Peace.